our first official announcement of the 2025 HHN season. Let's get into it. Hello everybody and welcome back. It is Michael from Hallowed Thrills back with another video, and that is absolutely right. We do in fact have our very first official announcement of HHN 34. Now, before we really get into anything though, please make sure that you are subscribed and have the bell notifications turned on to get notified whenever I post a video. And also make sure you're following both Instagram and X. The links are down in the description below. But yeah, that is right. We have our very first announcement of this year's season. And I'm gonna be honest with you, it always happens with me. I record a video, I edit a video, I post a video for you guys, and of course the very next day, the Thursday that they, after I post the video, they may go and announce something. I mean, it happens every single time. It happened a whole bunch last year, it happened again this year. But like I said, we have our very first announcement and we got a little bit of a teaser video with it. So I will show that off to you guys first, and then we will talk about this announcement as well as some merchandise that came with it and tickets.
Good evening, citizen. If you're just tuning in, you're in for a treat. Our friends at Vault-Tec are showcasing a revolutionary new experience, unlike anything you've seen before. Don't take it from us. Hear it straight from one of our special volunteers.
Live the horror you love to watch at Universal Halloween Horror Nights, featuring Fallout and more.
So that is absolutely right. The phenomenon known as Fallout from Amazon Prime, as well as the video game franchise, is in fact coming to Halloween Horror Nights this year in Orlando as well as Hollywood. This is one of our main IPs for this year's event. This will be the main driving force for a lot of promotional stuff because it is the very first announcement, so they're hoping to get a lot of ticket purchases off of this very first announcement. But like I said, we do have a little bit more details that released with the press release for this announcement, so I'll break down some of that real quick for you guys and just talk about what information we have regarding this house as of right now. Step into the post-apocalyptic wasteland of Prime Video's Fallout in an all-new terrifying haunted house at Universal Studios Halloween Horror Nights. Based on the award-winning global video game franchise from Bethesda Game Studios, Fallout was a critically acclaimed hit with audience worldwide when it debuted on Prime Video in 2024. The cinematic series is set in the year 2296, 200 years after a nuclear war destroyed civilization. All that is left is the eradicated and highly violent hellscape known as the Wasteland, crawling with mutated animals and creatures, while gentle citizens take refuge underground in luxury fallout shelters known as vaults. In this terrifying haunted house, fans will encounter iconic scenes and characters that will put them into the frightening action of the popular series. The journey begins beneath the surface in Vault 33, where guests follow Vault dweller Lucy MacLean as she escapes a bloody massacre, only to discover an evil hidden secret. From there, visitors venture to the surface where they must dodge attacks from scavengers and raiders, desperate survivors who are willing to do anything to remain alive, as well as mutated cockroaches known as rad roaches. As guests travel through the hellish wasteland, they will go through iconic locations like the Super Duper Mart and encounter the Ghoul, an ageless bounty hunter who endured radiation exposure for centuries. Additionally, they will come face to face with a young squire named Maximus and gaze in awe at his T-60 armor. With frightful terrors at every turn of the eerily authentic haunted house, fans will question if they can ever escape the horrors of the wasteland. That is a lot of information to unpack there regarding this house. And I, for one, I'm super excited. I am a huge fan of the Fallout series. I loved Fallout New Vegas. I love Fallout 4. I love Fallout 3. I really enjoyed parts of the series that I've watched. I've not watched the entire thing all the way through, but I obviously will now at this point be watching it all the way through, so I get a little bit of a better idea of what to expect in this house. But I mean, with the knowledge that I have from just the video games themselves, I am super excited for this house. Now, there are a couple things that were notated in this. Obviously, it is, of course, going to be based off the show that we all know, but it is going to be following Vault 33, and it does look like we will be seeing some of the Brotherhood of Steel in this house, which I am super excited for, and hopefully we get to see some of that power armor throughout this entire house, because I would love to see a full, like, really awesome power armor costume as they start running towards us. That would be absolutely terrifying, personally. But just all of the creatures that they could throw in this house, the rad roaches like they mentioned, there is so much that could be thrown into this house that could make it terrifying, that could make it fun. The possibilities are endless for this house, and this is the one that during speculation season, I personally was like, this has the most possibility to be the most interesting house at this year's event as far as where they could go with it, honestly. But of course, as always with these announcements, we did get that preview merch that we have been getting the last couple of years with announcements. We did get a couple of merch items with this. That is the t-shirt that we got, a thermos tumbler, and a couple other things that we'll talk about in a second. But let's talk about that t-shirt and the tumbler, because those kind of had similar designs on them. The t-shirt was like a really nice, kind of like grayish cream colored shirt that had the logo that they released, the marquee that they released for this announcement, with the Ghoul as well as Lucy on there, and Maximus in the power armor. And then on the sleeve it said Fallout, and then on the other sleeve it said Halloween Horror Nights 2025. Really cool, really just kind of bare bones t-shirt. It's a really nice design, and it definitely fits what we're looking for this type of house. And the tumbler has basically the exact same vibe to it. It is that exact same marquee logo wrapped around the tumbler, with on the other side having both the Fallout logo and of course the Halloween Horror Nights 2025 logo. But now let's talk about the more interesting merchandise item that we got with this drop, and that is the stained glass altar collectible. Now you might be like, what the heck is that, Michael? The stained glass altar collectible, it is literally, it looks like a little kind of plexiglass standee that is made of like made to look like a stained glass kind of window. And in the stained glass window, there are shelves and cutouts for 5 individual things. And there was another piece of merch that released in tandem with this collectible, and that was a cutout of the Ghoul from Fallout. And this Ghoul cutout fit perfectly into the bottom left-hand corner of this glass altar collectible. And from what I can assume now at this point, that this is going to be kind of a collectible as we go through the announcement season, a collectible build your own kind of altar for these announcements, and every IP announcement will get a new addition to this thing that you can purchase and throw in there. Now, I personally think this is one of the coolest pieces of merchandise that they've released in recent history, especially with these announcements. That really makes me hyped for the next announcement, so I can see what we're putting in that altar next. I personally am going to be going out to the park sometime this weekend to go out and grab one of those so I can have it, because that looks awesome. But yeah, that is all the merchandise that we have, and our very first announcement for this season. Now, there is another announcement that you may be all talking about in the comments now at this point, with a possible Five Nights at Freddy's. That was announced, but we do not have any details regarding it, so I do not want to really dive into it that much. But if you made it this far in the video, we did get an announcement prior to this one that did say that Halloween Horror Nights was going to be having 5 Nights at Freddy's at the event in some way, shape, or form. They did not tell us whether it was a scare zone, a show, or a house. They just said it was coming to the event. So I can't really dig too much into it, but for you that stuck around to this long in the video, it is coming to the event. We'll break it down as it actually gets announced. But now, the thing that actually was announced though with this announcement for this house for Fallout was tickets. Not frequent fear passes, don't worry, those will probably be coming in July as they always do. But we got our single night tickets, express tickets for single nights, the premium Scream night, which is back, the Unmasking the Horror tour, as well as RIP tours, and of course Scream Early. Now we're going to be breaking down prices regarding these, as well as what you get with some of the more premium ticket options here. We're going to start off with the single day tickets, of course. Single day tickets are going to be starting off at $82.99 and can get up to as high as $122.99 on select Saturdays in October. And of course, this gets you into one event night for Halloween Horror Nights 34. Now, if you do want to extend the fun a little bit for your experience at Halloween Horror Nights this year, you can purchase single night express passes as always. Single night express passes start off around $139.99 and can get as high as $259.99. Now, there is only one select Saturday in October that does have that high price tag, but for the most part, they're kind of hovering around $180 to $200 as far as single night express. Now, there are days in September that are as low around like 140-ish, 150. So September, it's okay. As you get later on in the event, it does get a little bit pricey. And of course, with that express pass, that gets you through all of the houses through the express line one time, and then you can use that express pass as many times as you want through the other attractions at the event. Now, I did mention that the Premium Scream Night has returned. Yes, Premium Scream Night was a one night only event that was introduced last year that was a complete success. It had a very high price tag for most people, but for the ones who did go, they had raving reviews for it. They reported low wait times, an overall fun experience, great food, great atmosphere, and they just said that it was a perfect night for Horror Nights. And of course, obviously, they're going to bring it back this year. So Premium Scream Night includes admission to the event, parking, unlimited food and non-alcoholic beverages, but alcoholic beverages will be available for purchase at the event. And you get pulsed/grouped entry into all of the houses with a very little wait. Obviously, they're not going to have RIP tours that night. They're not going to have Express that night. So basically, it'll just be the main line. And they are also majorly limiting capacity for this event. So there will not be as many people there as there normally would be. And obviously, with the higher price tag that this event does have, that also will kind of scare people away from going. But let's talk about that price tag. So last year, for regular guests, this event was $350. Before tax. It has now jumped up $25, so now it is $375 plus tax. Or if you are a pass holder, it is still that $350 plus tax price tag. And you'll just have to go through the annual pass holder portal and do that. Now, the Premium Scream Night, like I said, is for one night only, and it is August 28th, which is the Thursday before opening night, which would be that Friday, and opening weekend being Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Like I said, it's a bit expensive, but if you do have the money and you're only planning on going maybe one or two event nights throughout the entirety of the event and not planning on getting frequent fear pass, this probably is your best bet to get through everything in one night and be able to try as much food and drinks as you want, as these unlimited food and drinks that I am talking about here are the normal walk around food booths that would be available during a normal Halloween Horror Nights event night. So you can try all that stuff that you wanted to try without having to pay for all of it. Now, our next kind of event perk that we're going to be talking about is RIP tours. RIP tours, for those who do not know, are private guided tours or group guided tours. You have your own personal tour guide in your group for walking around the event for Halloween Horror Nights. They will take you around all the houses, all the scare zones, all the shows. You'll get front of line access to the houses, as well as unlimited express after your tour for these houses. And you will get reserved seating in the shows as well. And basically the tour guide will guide you around the park, give you a little backstory on all the houses, shows, and scare zones, and then you'll get to walk through them and experience them. I personally have done an RIP tour over in Hollywood. Super fun experience. If you've never done it, it is definitely worth it. Now, also included in this, you do get a nice cocktail hour of light appetizers, as well as a commemorative pin and lanyard. And then, of course, you do get, like I said, that unlimited express, which is after your tour. Also included this year is valet parking for your event price for this. But I will say the one caveat to this is, unlike over in Hollywood, Orlando does not include the normal admission to the event with the pricing for RIP tours, so you will need to buy separate event admission for the RIP tour. So you buy the RIP tour and then you have to separately buy your event admission for that night of your tour. But let's talk about pricing. So pricing for RIP tours start at $369.99 and can get as high as $459.99 on select Saturdays in October. So it's, like I said, it's a bit pricey, but like I said, if you're only going 1 or 2 nights throughout the event, you definitely want to make sure that you see everything. RIP tour may be the way to go for you if you are really into Horror Nights and you want to see everything in one shot. Now, one thing for all of those mega fans that I always suggest year in and year out is the Unmasking the Horror tour. And as always, it is back again. The 3 house and the 6 house tours are back. I love this tour. I will praise this tour every single year, hoping that you guys go out there and try it. If you're into horror, if you're into the event, or if you're just into art, this is something interesting for you. Basically what the Unmasking the Horror tour is that you get to go through 3 and or 6 of these houses for the event, and you'll get to go through them during the day with the lights on, with no scare actors, no show lights on, no like effects or anything going on. You just get to walk through. You go have a tour guide with you that tells you about the house, that explains different little Easter eggs that were hidden throughout the houses. You get to take pictures in certain areas. It is a really fun time. And like I said, I personally do this every single year. You do not need to buy an event admission for this. You just purchase your ticket for the Unmasking the Horror tour and you just go through, and you don't even need day admission to the park either. Now, one thing that they have added this year for this tour is something that I have been begging and pleading for them to add again for probably the last 4 years since they removed it, and that is lunch being included in the price. Way back in the day, I believe 28 and 29 were the last 2 years that they had it, where lunch was included with the price, and then every year after that until this year, lunch was not included. Now they have officially, for the 6 house tours only, have brought back a lunch included option. Now I love this, that they have included this, and previously when we had this, it was just kind of like you got a card at the very beginning of your tour, you checked off what you wanted off of that card, and they would give it to you when it was your group's lunchtime. Now, it is going to be a all-you-can-eat buffet. It is buffet style lunch, so you get to go through and just kind of chow down for the time frame that you have for lunch. I'm excited. I love the fact that they're including lunch again for it. Now, because they're adding lunch, it does bump the price up a little bit, but not crazy compared to what we had to pay last year without lunch. So let's talk about pricing. So for the 3 house tour, the pricing starts at $84.99 and can get up as high as $109.99 on a few select days in August and September. And like I said, that gets you through 3 of the houses with the lights on so you can take pictures. As of right now, we do not know which houses are included in either of these tours, but like I said, that is the pricing for the 3 house tour. Now let's talk about the pricing for the 6 house tour. So tour pricing for 6 house tours start at $169.99 and can get as high as $220 on select days in August and September. Now this can be a bit pricey, like I did say, and for the 3 house tours, tours start as early as August 22nd, and for 6 house tours, they start as early as August 29th. Now, as of the time of recording this, unfortunately, the 29th and 30th for the 6 house tours have sold out. So 31st of August is your first available date as of right now. So if you want to get earlier on in the event, make sure that you book as soon as possible. Now, last but not least, we have to talk about Scream Early. Scream Early tickets are basically our Stay and Scream tickets. They get you into the park at 3 p.m. prior to the park closing down for the day at 5 and the event starting at 6 or 6:30. Now, basically what happens is you get into the park at 3, you can ride a couple rides, you can chillax for a bit, but once the park closes for the day at 5 o'clock, you can get let into a Stay and Scream area for the Halloween Horror Nights event. Now, I will say you do need to purchase a Halloween Horror Nights ticket as well in addition to the Scream Early Pass. So you need that Scream Early Pass to get into the park, and then you need the Halloween Horror Nights admission to get into the Stay and Scream areas. But basically, once you're in the Stay and Scream areas, you chill out for a little bit, and then eventually at one point before the event actually starts for the night, they will let you into 1 or 2 houses prior to the event starting, so you can knock out a couple before anyone else gets in the park. And it also kind of gives you a head start into the park where you can move on to the next house and kind of stay ahead of the crowds. I personally do this a lot because I'm a pass holder, but if you do not have a pass and you do not have a regular day ticket, but you still want to do this, you can get an advanced admission with these Scream Early passes, and the pricing for these passes is $55 for every single event night. It does not go up, it does not go down, it stays the same throughout the entire time. So it is an option, but I'm going to be completely honest with you. If you're going on a weekend, it makes more sense to just buy a normal day ticket and go day and night for both Universal and Horror Nights, because it's a little bit pricey now. It used to be like $20, $25, or up, I think it was even up to $35 at one point. But $55, it's not really worth it for those extra 2 hours that you get in the park. So if it were up to me, I'd rather just get a regular day ticket. But that is everything. That is everything we need to talk about. Personally for me though, I'll talk about what I have already booked for this year. I booked my 6 house tour as I always do, like I said. So I'm super excited for that. But I also did book that premium Scream night. I missed out on it last year, and I'm not making the same mistake this year. So like I said, from what I heard, it was 100% worth the money last year. So I wanted to check it out for myself this year. And of course, when Frequent Fear passes come out, I will more than likely be purchasing that so I can get content for you guys throughout the entirety of the event. But with all of that out of the way, that is going to be the end of our video. If you guys did enjoy, please make sure you drop a like and also comment down below, what did you think about today's announcements? Did you find that Fallout was going to be super exciting for you? Or did you purchase any of the tickets? Did you see any of the merch in the parks? I'd like to know down in the comments below. But as always, I'm Michael from Hallowed Thrills, giving you the all clear, and all clear means you are out of here. See you guys next time.